So let's do a little review what we did last time. So it would be like some continuation. So our topic was, one second, transmittal of the taste through aroma. And we said there is Talmudic expression that aroma, it's like what is it? What is the expression? It's like aroma has a substance. I would not find it. Aroma. I mean, literally, aroma is significant, right? and we said it's especially when we're talking about cooking simultaneously, like in the same oven, even on the same stovetop, right? Meat and dairy, right? Of course, same problem applies to the kosher, non-kosher food, but here we're more interested in meat and dairy, and we said it's proper to have two stoves, right? One for meat and one for dairy, right, but if for whatever reason a person cannot afford, so we said maybe today get one smaller one, electric one, so it should resolve the issue. But we were looking at all of the other possibilities. Like for example, person has one stove and that's it, right? And if somebody baked something in the oven simultaneously, like meat and dairy, so most likely it's going to be one of them or both of them would absorb the taste of the other. And if they're not covered, so we're talking about food's not covered, so one can drip like sauce or whatever from one into another. Of course, and if it is a liquid, so the liquid would evaporate and the aroma is going to come through the steam from one to another. So, and then we discuss, of course it's not proper, because we said many times, have separate stoves and that's the proper way. But what if somebody did it anyway, for whatever reason they do not know? So we say, 1 second. So the foods did not touch each other, and there was no gravy and stuff like that. So we said the as post facto that in some cases you would be able to eat the food, right? So they say if the stove have ventilation. So, and we said that all of the modern stoves have ventilation, so it's a little easier. So because all of the steam, all of this like smell would go like outside, like it would go rise up, not go into each other. So I mean we're talking after the fact. Of course, it's not so simple, so we have to look into it. And microwaves usually don't have ventilation, so if you cook in microwave, I'm not sure how big should be the microwave, you can cook two dishes together, but that's for sure an issue. Then we said if one food is sharp or two of them are sharp, so for sure an issue, cannot eat it. And plus we also discussed the laws of what is it, on Pesach of Chometz is more stringent. So during the year we have some modification, 1 to 16, many aspects, and some axes 1 to 100, 1 to 200, right? Ratio would nullify, but on Pesach does not nullify. Okay. And then we discuss the covered food, so it's a little easier. So if they completely covered, let's say with aluminum foil, or they covered with a lid, tight lid, so it's a different story. So there is no problem. So foods are permitted. Okay, foods are permitted, and like from outside of this pot, of course it got the residue from the steep of opposite. Of the opposite taste, meaning the dairy of the meat. That's a different story. and just 1 second, but the food itself would be permitted. If we're talking about like the worst case scenario, if they being cooked in a stone in the same stove simultaneously, but they cover. So we say after the fact they're permitted. Okay. But if the dairy food like is done uncovered, that's I'm not sure why somebody would do that. So for sure, if one of them is sharp, it is forbidden. If food were bland, then affected b'diavad, so after the fact, so you can you can use it. So let me just read it to save time. If one baked bread concurrently with meat, he may not eat the bread with dairy. So I mean we're talking about open, not covered. So covered, so this lid would protect, but uncovered, so bread becomes it's not meat, but it's not part of his either, right? Neither. So you cannot eat this bread with dairy. And as I said, many people go stringently, and that's what we are trying also to follow. So if we bake, so since we have only one stove, if we bake the bread, doesn't matter if it's even binyama, like even the stove was not used for 24 hours, we still use this, consider this bread or whatever baked goods as not part of a meat, right? So we would not do it with dairy. So if you want to eat it, there is no problem in the morning. Like you want to do it, so first you do dairy, whatever you do. You want coffee with milk, no problem. You have your coffee. You want to have your cereal, yeah. And after that you can, you can eat these baked things, no problem. But not the reverse. Even though, like after the fact, as we see, some would say there is no problem, but we're trying to not to go into this doubtful situation. And then the reason is why in general, so maybe why you don't want to go into doubtful situation. So you don't want to do like mitzvahs like a barely passing, right? When people ask, as Rabbi Reuven Shlita always say, when people ask for a blessing, they do not say like, HaShem, give me just parnasa so I can live barely survive the day. No, right? They they ask a lot, so I can have like a lot of food or whatever, and all of the good physical things, and plus some leftover for my saving account, right? So you don't do barely, you don't ask for barely. But when many people, when it comes to doing the mitzvah, they won't do the barely minimum. Okay, and we're going to discuss it today in a Siddur class also. Okay, so continue. And then we said if either of the foods is completely covered, for example, by a liter of oil, and the other food is unaffected, nevertheless, one should avoid cooking meat and dairy in the oven simultaneously, even both foods are covered. So here is a little different scenario than I said. So I said that both of them are covered, so they're not unaffected, even though don't do it. But here's a different scenario if one of them uncovered. So since there is no transmittal of the taste, so no problem. Again, it's after the fact. And then we say if you got stuck, if you're somewhere in your job, right, and you have only this one microwave in the cafeteria, everybody is using one microwave, or you're somewhere in a hotel and that's all you have. So it's not a problem. As we said, you can do double wrapping, wrap twice with the different materials, and you actually can warm up in this non-kosher microwave, or use a non-kosher stove as well. Okay, so that's like in summary what we said last time. Of course, there were many details, but that's in a nutshell what we said. Okay.